Hello friends, this is Mukesh Sahai from MALUKA IAS History Optional faculty with more than 2 decades of teaching experience. Friends, this is to inform you that our fresh batches are going to start from 1st of December. Keep it in mind, 1st of December we are starting our fresh batches for History Optional English medium. Dear friend, as you have already seen previous year, all the questions figured out from my class notes and whatever being taught in the class, you can verify the videos if required in our office as well. Dear friends, today I am going to give you a brief analysis of Ashoka's Dhamma. Actually, there are 2 aspects of this Dhamma. One aspect, that is the text aspect, which is much discussed in the books. Another aspect is the context that I am going to discuss here. Basically, in history, it is more important to go through the context than the text. The question, the debate which often comes about Dhamma, that whether Dhamma emanated from Buddhism secondly, whether Dhamma converted the whole moral state as the religious state. The third question which often comes in my mind on many people, that whether this Dhamma was successful for a long or not. What would have been the probable reason to bring this Dhamma? What would have been the probable reason to bring Dhamma? These are some of the haunting questions in the circle of the intellectuals, that what would have been the possible reasons to bring this Dhamma. Let us go through the first aspect, whether it emanated from Buddhism or not. Dear friends, if you look at the major aspect of Buddhism, that is 4 Noble Truths, the idea of Nirvana, idea of Pratitya Samutpad, or 7 Bodhyang, whatever you call, we do not find any mention of these prime aspects of Buddhism. Right, first. Neither we have the discussion in any of the edict about 4 Noble Truths, Nirvana, Pratitya Samutpad, or 7 Bodhyang. Though at Bhabru edict from Rajasthan, he speaks about 7 books of Buddhism: Vinaya Samukas, Aliyavas, Upatisapsin, Mune Sutra, Munigatha, like books. There are 7 books referred by Ashoka, and here he shows his faith in Buddha, Sangha and Dharma, the 3 gems of Buddhism. So that is the only example where we have the evidence of Buddhism being inserted in the edict. Secondly, what we have, the Sijam inscription, where he arranges the monks and monkesses to stay together, and those who are found guilty of maneuvering any split, they are being removed from the Sangha. Besides that, it is very difficult to find the elements of Buddhism from his edict. Now, the point is that had it been the idea of Buddhism, most of the places he uses the word Swarga and Naraka, and these are the typical words of Hinduism. Swarga and Naraka are the words derived from Hinduism. Thirdly, had it been the idea only germinated from Buddhism, what was the need of appointing one ministry or official known as Dhamma Mahamatya? Dhamma Mahamatya. Because if you bring a new ministry, it will definitely tell upon your economy and prove disastrous. Had it been the idea of Buddhism, it would have been, implemented from all the Buddhist monasteries. So that we do not find. So this is why this idea that whether it emanated only from Buddhism, yes, it was inspired from Buddhism, Ashoka became Buddhist, but we cannot say that it only emanated from Buddhism, because in most of the edict he speaks about Brahmana and Sramana to get respected. If he was so communal, he would not have used this word Brahmana, because Sramana we can understand, Sramana includes all the non-Hindu religion like Buddhism, Jainism and Charvak or whatever, Niyativad, right? Now, so these two ideas, whether it emanated from Buddhism or else whole Borean state was a religious state, both of this dictum are being discarded from these arguments. Now the point comes in place, why it was, implemented, what would have been the reason? My dear friends, as you all know that the only big battle came in his life, the Battle of Kalinga in his 8th regnal year, and we all know that around 261 BC, when Battle of Kalinga was fought, even if given all the parameters of international wars, we do not have any war matching this figure of casualty, because he himself is claiming that more than 1 lakh people died and even more got injured. That means the casualty was heaviest in the human history of that particular time. Now the point is that if the Mauryan Empire continues this sort of the policy of war, or then it is going to get extinguished within a few years or so, because only single war took such a massive toll on its structure. So it shook the entire structure of the empire. Even Ashoka turned Buddhist, and now he was forced to decide whether he is going to resort with the idea of war or the idea of winning heart of the people. So definitely, to win the heart of the people, he resorted to the idea of Dhamma. If you look at the features of Dhamma, they talk about respecting father, mother, elders, Sramana, Brahmana, and respecting the diseased person, respecting the ill people, respecting, the needy people. And they boycott all sort of vestiges, be it pilgrimage, be it whatever. So that means special emphasis have been laid, and even he is donating, many caves to Ajivika, which was not his religion. So definitely, it was the idea of Dhamma was the synthesis of many religions, many novel thought of the time, and most of the ideology of Dhamma is eco-friendly, is non-violence friendly, and makes the entire environment of governance quite cool. Perhaps this was the reason he brought Dhamma. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.